Oh, we got a little show.
You know, we always try to sprinkle in what we call something different. Yeah. And tonight we actually have two something different. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We're going to start with one tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to start with a little piece called Fire from the Inside, written and performed by Arthur M. Jolly. Please, welcome him to the stage,
Arthur M. Jolly!
Can you all hear me well? Yeah. Good, okay. Oh, I get to start the Fringe. Thank you. Thank you, Rob. This is so exciting. Yeah, this is actually an excerpt from, it's a story that's an excerpt from a longer piece called Three Fires. So this is one of the fires, Fire from the Inside, because I have been set on fire. I have been set on fire more times than any other living playwright. Some of you know my first career was as a stunt performer. So yeah, I've been on fire more times than I can recall. I've conducted a band with my arms on fire for a music video. I was blown up on Wall Street. I had one arm strapped down, dressed as a one-armed zombie, set on fire, and then blown up while on fire for a low-budget zombie flick. And for one rather surreal art film, I just got to sit in a comfortable chair in a living room, hanging out, checking my watch, while ablaze from head to foot. I was wearing 3 layers of Nomex, that's a material race car drivers wear, that had been soaked in Zell gel. It's a fire protective barrier gel that's only used in 2 things: fire stunts and hamburger commercials. Have you ever seen the Burger King commercial with that perfectly styled and airbrushed burger going over their trademark flame grill? Yeah, they paint this goop on the underside so they can do multiple takes.
Oh.
It feels like being wrapped in an enormous used Kleenex. It has been chilled to give me a little extra time on fire, and it reeks of tea tree oil, which they use in it as a preservative. To this day, if I smell tea tree oil, my chest tightens. On top of the Nomex is the costume, always natural wool or cotton. You only want natural fibers. You don't want any synthetics that might melt or catch on fire themselves. And on top of that is the fuel. In this case, using contact cement, industrial glue, because it's highly flammable. It also stays where you paint it, so you can control where the flames are. And the solvent in it is hexane-based, and hexane burns with a bright yellow smoky flame that really picks up well on camera. I've got Nomex hoods with little glass circles sewn into them. Underneath everything, I have a miniature air tank with a little tube going up so I have something to breathe. If you suck in flames, it scorches the lining of your lungs and stops them from functioning. So that will kill you very quickly. They light me, and I am ablaze. There is a sound to being on fire that doesn't sound like anything else. And it's not just the sound of flames. There's a different quality to sound. If any of you who scuba dived or just swum underwater, you know that everything sounds different underwater because sound travels differently through water. It travels differently through flame as well, only in like the opposite fashion. But nothing in the world sounds like being inside fire does. I'm ablaze. I'm monitoring the growing temperature. I'm doing the action and checking my watch. But something doesn't feel right. I can't breathe right. I don't even know what it is, but something doesn't feel right. So I throw myself down, face down on the concrete, arms out. That's the signal for the safety crew to put me out. But it also keeps the flames away from your face while they do it. They put me out. I pull the hoods off. I sit up, and I'm just about to say, sorry, everyone, something didn't feel right. And then I hear that sound of fire from the inside, and I realize I am still on fire. And I'm still sitting in the chair, and I'm still wearing the hoods. The cameras are still rolling. So I do the action and I look at my watch, but no, we just did this. So I throw myself down and they put me out, and this time I don't pull the hoods off because I don't know what just happened. But Barbara, my key safety person, she pulls the hoods off. And And I'm just about to say, I just had the weirdest experience. It wasn't even deja vu. It was like we did this. And then I hear the sound of flames, of fire from the inside. And I am still in the chair, and I am still on fire. So I throw myself down, and they put me out, and they pull the hoods off. And I am just lying there on the concrete, wondering what happened. But as I breathe in, I can taste the dust on the studio floor. So I'm tasting the dust, and I know, well, this is real. And whatever it was that happened, at least it's over now. And then I hear the sound of flames, fire from the inside, and I am still in the chair, and I'm still on fire. So I throw myself down, and they put me out, and they pull the hoods off, and I hear the flames, and I'm still on fire. So the 5th time, I am trying to think my way out of this, through this, and figure out what is going on, because I am obviously hallucinating. And if I am hallucinating that they are putting me out, that's because I want them to so much, which means I am burning. That's surface there. No, this is hallucinations. This is brain damage. I'm cooking my brain. This is deep. This is serious. So I am going to wake up in the hospital if I am lucky. But while I am thinking this, I'm throwing myself down, and they're putting me out and pulling the hoods off, and I hear the flames, and I'm still on fire. So the 6th time, I realized something. If I've been on fire for this long, I am dead. Oh, I'm dead. Okay, well, yeah, well, this makes sense. Now I know what happens when you die. You relive the moment of your death over and over. And I wonder if that's purely biomechanical, if that's just the way synapses behave as they fizzle out for the final time. They just respond to whatever the last influence was, and it's just a little brain echo that will stop. But a little more worryingly, maybe this is something metaphysical. Maybe this is what happens after you die, and I am in purgatory, and I will be forced to relive the moment of my death over and over until I learn something, or until I have atoned for a myriad of sins. But maybe this is just what death is. You experience the moment of your death over and over for all eternity. But it doesn't matter, because I'm dead. I don't have to care. I can just let it all go. And I do. I let everything go. And everything is dark. And everything is silent. And I am at peace. And I think a long time later, I realize I can taste dust. And I can feel concrete pressing against my face. And I sit up in the darkness, and I can smell the charred costume and the burnt rubber smell of the fuel and the tea tree oil of the gel. And then I see lights, and suddenly they resolve, and they are the film lights, and I'm back in the studio, and I'm on the floor, and Barbara's next to me yelling, and a few seconds later sound comes back, and she's saying, Arthur, are you okay? What happened? And I say, I don't know. You tell me what happened. She said, you were doing the fire stunt, and you just collapsed. You just fell down like a sack of shit. And we put you out, and I pulled the hoods off, and you sat up, but you weren't responding. It was obvious you couldn't see anything. And I thought I had blinded you. What had happened was the air tank had failed. The valve on it had jammed, so I wasn't breathing the air from the tank. I was breathing the little bit of air trapped between myself and the Nomex, and that had drawn in the fumes from the fuel. So I was hallucinating because I was huffing glue. For any of you who haven't worked in the stunt industry, maybe I should make this clear that doing stunts while huffing glue, while it might take the edge off, is not recommended procedure. But after breathing clean air for a few minutes, my head cleared and I was fine. I checked with the director that we got enough footage before I collapsed that we didn't have to come back and do this all again. I apologized to the entire crew for freaking everyone out, because I am that English. packed up my gear in the van and I drove home, dropped off Barbara on the way. As we were driving, I was telling her what had gone on inside my head in that split second that I collapsed. And she listened to the whole story that I've just told you, and then she looked at me in her cool way and said, Arthur, you do know you're still on fire, don't you? And I almost drove off the road because just for a minute, I thought she was right. It's from Three Fires, and thank you.
Yeah!